Greetings and good day. This is Christopher Freese here at Freese Forge. Let's make a little Mjolnir. A number of years ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to a Viking exhibit at a local museum. There was a lot of amazing things there, and it was really quite the experience. I got to see not only the bones of my ancestors, I got to see a long ship. It wasn't, this was really cool. The long ship, the wood was all gone, and this is 1,000 years old. The wood's all rotted away, but the nails, they had the nails all hung up as where they would have been if the wood was there holding the ship together. It was really something to see, but the most amazing thing that I got to witness there was an Ulfberht sword. Something like that is far beyond my current skill sets. But it was amazing to witness the mastery of steel, to be able to view with my own eyes that beauty. It was quite a sight. It was quite a thing to behold. Anyhow, to commemorate that, I went to the gift shop. Probably the only thing that I've ever bought from a gift shop was this little Mjolnir pendant. Now, it's been a couple of years and this thing is bent, and I'm worried that if I try to straighten it out, because it's just a little pewter pendant, that I'll end up actually breaking it. I really don't want to do that. So I figured now is a perfect time to make my own little Mjolnir pendant. And so, I want it to last. I don't want it to tarnish. I'm going to be using stainless steel. I got a little lag bolt here left over from when I made my stand. If you haven't seen how I made this stand, go check it out. There should be a card popping up right about now. Click on that, it'll open up another window. But this little lag bolt here is what I'm going to be using to make my own little Mjolnir pendant to help, so that I can retire this one without it breaking, but still carry with me the hammer of the gods.
I told you how I came to have my little Mjolnir, but do you know the story of how Thor actually got his hammer? It's an interesting tale, full of magic and dwarves and mischief. Listen. One day, Loki the trickster found himself in an especially mischievous mood, and cut off the gorgeous golden hair of Sif, the wife of Thor. When Thor learned of this, his quick temper was enraged, and he seized Loki and threatened to break every bone in his body. Loki pleaded with the thunder god to let him down to Svartalfheim, the cavernous home of the dwarves, and see if those master craftspeople could fashion a new head of hair for Sif, this one even more beautiful than the original. Thor allowed this, and off Loki went to Svartalfheim. There he was able to obtain what he desired. The sons of the dwarf Ivaldi forged not only a new head of hair for Sif, but also two other marvels. Skidbladnir, the best of all ships, which always has a favorable wind and can be folded up and put into one's pocket, and Gungnir, the deadliest of all spears. Having accomplished his task, Loki was overcome by an urge to remain in the caves of the dwarves and revel in more recklessness. He approached the brothers Brok and Sindri and taunted them, saying that he was sure the brothers could never forge 3 new creations equal to those the sons of Ivaldi had fashioned. In fact, he even bet his head on their lack of ability. Brok and Sindri, however, accepted the wager. As they worked, a fly, who was of course none other than Loki in disguise, stung Sindri's hand. When the dwarf pulled his creation out of the fire, it was a living boar with golden hair. This was Gullinbasti, the golden bristled one, who gave off light in the dark and could run better than any horse, even through water or air. Sindri then set another piece of gold on the fire as Brok worked the bellows. The fly bit Brock on the neck, and Sindri drew out a magnificent ring, Draupnir, the Dripper. From this ring, every 9th night, fall 8 new golden rings of equal weight. Sindri then put iron on the hearth and told Brock that for this next working they must be especially meticulous, for a mistake would be more costly than the previous 2 projects. Loki immediately stung Brock's eyelid, and the blood blocked the dwarf's eye, preventing him from properly seeing his work. Sindri produced a hammer of unsurpassed quality, which never missed its mark and would boomerang back to its owner after being thrown. But it had one flaw. The handle was too short. Sindri lamented that this had almost ruined the piece, which was called Mjolnir, lightning. Nevertheless, sure of the great worth of their treasures, Sindri and Brock made their way to Asgard to claim the wages that were due to them. Loki made it to the halls of the gods before the dwarves and presented the marvels he had acquired. To Thor he gave Sif's new hair and the hammer Mjolnir. To Odin went the ring Draupnir and the spear Gungnir. And Freya was happy recipient of Skidblanir and Gullimbursti. The gods were grateful to receive these gifts, especially Mjolnir, which they foresaw would be of immense help in their battles against the giants. They concluded that Brock and Sindri had won the bet, and Loki owed the dwarves his head. When the dwarves approached Loki with knives, the cunning god pointed out that he had promised them only his head, and that they could not harm his neck. Brock and Sindri contented themselves with sewing Loki's mouth shut and returned to their forge. That concludes the very condensed version of the story of not only how Thor got his hammer, but also how Odin got his spear, and the other gods got their treasures as well. It's a much longer story. There's much more to it than what I have the time here to tell. And so that's why I bring to you the much more condensed version. It almost feels like cheating you a little bit. So I want to tell you of my favorite versions of this story. And the best part about them is that they're actually in audiobook form, as well as paperback, but the audiobook form is particularly fun to listen to. Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman is a wonderful retelling of this story and many others. You can look it up on YouTube. I'll provide a link in the description. I just found this book. I think he just wrote it not too long ago, and I have thoroughly enjoyed listening to it over and over and over again. There's also an excellent rendition of the Norse myths, and it's called Norse Legends. It's also available to listen to on YouTube, and I will provide a link to it in the description as well.
Well, there we are. Mjolnir is mine, and I didn't even need any dwarves to help me make it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, let me know if there's anything that I could have done better in the creation of my Thor's Hammer pendant. Click that subscribe button. I have new videos out every week. Lots more things to come. May the Force serve you well.